What is going on? I am super pumped to have you here today, Carlos. What's up, dude?
Hey, Nick,
How are you?
what's up, brother?
Dude, good to see you, brother. Yeah, no, this is my 5th episode of my new show, In the Know with Nick. And
Nice.
today, like I said, we got Carlos in the house. Good friend. We've known each other 10 years. I mean,
Yeah,
we go back a
I think
ways.
10 plus.
10 plus years. Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm just going to give you a quick intro, and I'd love for you to, share your story of kind of how you got into what you do with, being your moving company.
All right.
Flatbed Moving. You've had that company, I think, what, four years, 5 years?
Yeah, about to complete 4 years in business. So
Okay. But you've been in the business for,
oh man, I've been doing moving since 2007.
okay, a long time. Yeah. So,
Long time.
just give us a little overview of who you are, your background.
All right. Well, Nick, thanks for having me. And
Yeah.
In the Know with Nick. That sounds good. I like the ring to it.
Yeah, dude. It's kind of catchy.
So a little bit of background about me. I'm born and raised in San Diego.
Okay.
Been here all my life. Went to San Diego High School, class of 99.
Okay.
And I've been doing moving since 2007.
Okay. So
I actually started out entry level. So I was a helper. I learned how to pack and move. I learned how to load a truck, drive a truck, and just did really well at it. So for that company that I was working for, I worked my way through the company and pretty much held every position possible.
Okay.
So packing, moving, driving, crew leader.
Okay.
Worked in the warehouse, dealt with storage, worked in the office, dealt with admin stuff, paperwork. Okay. Answering the phone, inside sales, and then outside sales.
Okay.
Yep. And that company sold in 2014 or something like that. So when it sold, new owners came in, the atmosphere of the company changed a little bit, and it just wasn't a good fit for me anymore.
Sure.
So because of that, I went to another moving company in town because that's what I knew. I know how to do moving. I know how to sell moving. So I went to work for another big name in town.
Okay.
And I learned different types of moving when I moved over to that company. Okay. So I learned how to sell internationally, overseas. We used to put crates on boats or trains, a lot of military type moving.
Okay.
And did really well there. And, wasn't truly satisfied in what I was doing. I was selling the moving services, but I couldn't guarantee the outcome of the services to the client. Sure. And that bothered me.
Kind of your reputation, like you're building your brand a little bit, even though you were working for someone else.
Yeah, even though it wasn't my company, I took pride in it.
Absolutely.
And I wanted the client to have a great outcome, great experience. And it was tough when you don't own the company, you don't have control over the performance or the service. There was a saying back then from other salespeople on my team and the management, and they used to say, Carlos loves selling a dream.
Okay, that's awesome.
It sounds good, but what they meant was I was selling something that couldn't be delivered.
Okay,
and it just wasn't true. It's not hard to give great service in the industry.
Right.
So that's a little bit of background on how I came to eventually start this company with a business partner. Couldn't do it without him. Great guy. His name's Josh Bernstein.
I know Josh. Awesome dude. What's up,
him.
Josh?
And between him and I, he's really great at logistics and operations and coming up with just the best way to do things. I do well at the sales and business development and networking. Sure. And so together we started Flatbed Moving about 4 years ago, and it's been a great ride ever since.
Where'd you come up with the name Flatbed?
So we wanted to give something different to the industry.
Okay.
And so what I mean by that is normally movers will give one or two type of estimates or one or two type of cost agreements.
Okay.
And that would be either non-binding, meaning, hey, whatever happens on your move, whatever we do for you, whatever materials we use, however long we take, we're going to charge you for that.
Okay.
No limit.
Sky's the limit. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
that can be kind of scary.
Real scary.
Yeah.
If I tell you it's $1,000 and my guys get out there and work till midnight, I'm going to charge you $5,000.
Right.
So that's a non-binding estimate.
Okay.
Second type of estimate is called a not to exceed.
Okay.
Either way, both types of estimates are meant to benefit the moving company.
Gotcha.
So not to exceed is, okay, I'll set the cap at your dollar amount for your estimate for services, and make you believe or let you know that it could be less.
Okay.
Have you ever been priced something and it's been less, Nick?
No, it's going to hit that number every time.
It's never less.
Right.
So those two types of estimates are normal in the moving industry. So we came up with flat bid moving, and we wanted to give a set cost move every time that doesn't change. No matter the variables that come up, no matter if my guys need to do something a little different to make the move happen.
Okay.
In
fact, I remember real quick. I remember because well, this is before you owned your company, but you and I were working together, and we thought it was going to be, I think, 2 trucks, and you had to do like a third loop and like get the last few items for and that would have probably been an upcharge, but I don't even think you charged me extra for it. I remember that though. You had to like send guys back and get a couple more things.
Yeah, things happen, so things change on move day or before or in the planning. You think you're going to sell something, you don't, or you don't want to move it to the new house, and wife changes her mind and you end up moving it. So many things come up. So the flat bid is meant to give the client peace of mind. We give a set cost. We're going to do anything we need to do to get you moved properly, get you packed up if you choose packing, get you unpacked if you choose unpacking, and we won't change that cost.
Okay, that's cool.
So that's how we came up with flat bid.
And that's pretty unique in the industry. It sounds like there's not a lot of companies that do a fixed cost up front.
Yeah,
kind of like a guarantee.
And there may be some out there. I just don't know of them.
Yeah.
So it's pretty unique in San Diego.
Okay. And so back when you started, it was you and Josh, your partner, just the two of you guys, and let's figure this out, make it happen. And that's why I'm so impressed now that I've known you as long as I have, and I've referred you a ton of clients, and the people that I've referred you all rave about your service. I've never had one person say anything negative about you. That's used you, that I've referred you. So I appreciate that about you, and continue to refer you. In fact, today I think I sent you another one. But point being, you've done a good job of building your business and making sure that your dream of making sure it goes smoothly for everyone is what you're delivering. Right. You've scaled. Like now, are you up to what? I think 4 trucks.
We're up to 4 trucks.
Okay.
And when we started, it was Josh and I, and we were using a rental truck.
Okay.
And funny story, we had a brief conversation, and we asked each other, how much business do you think you self-generated last year? This was the year before we started the company. Okay. And I think I said somewhere around like 200K or something in self-generated business, meaning I didn't get it from the company's leads that I was working for, and him the same. So we both said, okay, so we're probably going to make about 400K in business year 1,
right? Gross.
Without trying.
Okay.
These are just people that we know, that we've built relationships with, that we've moved, that come back to us,
clients,
that refer to us.
People like myself that maybe
like you,
real estate agents,
property managers.
Okay.
And so we weren't too worried about going into business and taking a risk at it. But so we started with a rental truck, and I think 3 months, I could be a little wrong on the time, but a few months in, we bought our first truck off of the moves we performed.
Okay. Awesome.
And that was going great.
So reinvesting in yourself and reinvesting in your business. That's a key thing right there.
Absolutely. Reinvestment is key.
Okay. And then you started hiring. Obviously you had a crew, like you started with a couple guys.
Yeah. Started with a couple guys.
Okay.
And hired on as we needed it. Okay. But because Josh and I have been in the industry so long, we know who the good movers are. Right. We've worked with a lot of the good movers. Okay. So a lot of people that we've worked with, known,
it's a natural thing. They wanted to come work with you guys.
We brought them on. Yeah. And as we got busier using our truck and still needing to rent a second truck, that's when we bought a second truck.
Okay. Scale, right? Yeah. So you just kind of, as you're adding more and more clients and your business is growing, it's like, all right, now's the right time. Reinvest, second truck, and then are you guys going to keep going? Is that as you continue to add on more?
Yeah. So we hope to keep going. That's the key, is the growth.
Okay.
But to not outgrow what we feel we can handle.
Sure.
So there's going to be a sweet spot, right? And that may be another truck, that may be 6 trucks, and or whatever it is.
And you're at a good run right there, and revenue strong.
Yeah.
Any like growing pains you like can look back and say, you know what, that was something maybe we should have done differently, or any learning experiences from that as you started and then have been growing, or anything come to mind there? Just being smart.
There's obviously like growing pains and learning experiences. But there hasn't been anything major or catastrophic that I can think of at the moment.
You're doing a good job.
I don't mean to make it sound so easy, because it's not. It's tough running a small business.
You took your licks though. You took your licks when you were from 07 to 7, the first 10 years, that's where your learning curve, and you probably, you kind of mastered the trade a little bit. And like you said, you went through each of those different pieces of, driving the truck, packing, all that. Now you kind of,
Right.
now you're in the owner's seat.
Yep, absolutely.
You can coach these guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
And honestly, having a good team is key.
Yeah.
So not having to go through the catastrophic, business lessons or
Right.
learning curves or super hard,
Yeah.
hits that like set you back.
Yeah.
Having
good employees.
Luckily, we haven't had to,
Mhm.
experience that yet. But having a good team is key. Most of these guys are self-sufficient.
That's awesome.
They do really well. I get countless phone calls and texts and emails, unsolicited, about how great the guys are and how polite they are and respectful they are. And
that's what you want.
Yeah, it's great.
That makes you feel good.
Really is.
So, I'm a consumer, right? And I'm trying to find a company to help me move. There's probably some things that you could point out, like maybe red flag when I call up a moving company and they say something. I mean, we talked about the two different types of quotes they may offer, but maybe some red flags you could share or what you need to be aware of when you're shopping for a moving company.
Yeah, great question. So this is helpful for anybody out there needing movers, right?
Right.
Most people probably go to Google or social media, or do a Facebook ask, which is great, but things to be aware of, at least in San Diego County.
Okay.
When you're searching for a mover, if you want the best outcome possible, hire a mover who's willing to do an in-home estimate with you. Okay. And that should always be done free.
You do that. I know that.
I do that.
And a lot of companies maybe won't do that.
There's a bunch of companies who will try to, schedule your move just by a phone conversation.
Okay.
Or, via email. They want you to email them a list.
Take pictures or whatever.
They want you to fill out, a sheet, essentially do the work for them. And then they give you an estimate. However, if you don't get an in-home estimate, it's not binding.
Okay.
So if someone books your move over the phone or via email, they can and will change the cost.
Okay, really?
No matter, they can verbally promise you.
Okay. And they say, "Oh, well, I didn't know you had 3 stairs to go up," or whatever. They'll come.
There's always some sort of variable that they figure out, some sort of loophole on how to charge more.
Interesting.
But not only charging more, if they aren't properly prepared, you have a bad experience.
Sure. They didn't bring the right equipment based on stairs or whatever. You got some heavy object that requires a special.
Exactly. Not enough truck space, not enough manpower.
Okay.
And that, eventually causes you to have a more costly move.
Okay.
And a bad experience.
Okay.
So if you get an in-home estimate, that's the first step. Second step, don't hire a mover who requires a deposit.
Okay.
Movers should not be asking for money up front.
Right.
So no deposit, no down
flag.
payment. Red flag.
Okay.
You should be able to schedule your move free and pay at the end of services.
Interesting. See, I would know that. I feel like, oh, you want $500 up front, and here you go. To hold my spot or whatever.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that's a key red flag.
Okay.
In our country when it comes to brokers.
Yeah.
So the brokers selling out your move to rogue movers, and those rogue movers basically charge anything they want. Yeah. They'll show up on move day, load your items, hold them hostage until you pay more. Oh my God. And that deposit is normally the broker fee.
Okay.
So that's why they want that deposit up front.
Interesting.
So they get paid for booking and selling your move out.
Okay.
So that's another red flag.
All right.
This isn't really a red flag, but there's some differences in service if you use contractors versus employee movers. Okay. So employee movers are always going to do a better job.
Sure.
They take pride in their work. They work for a company. They have a culture that they live up to.
Sure.
And so that's in-home estimate, no deposit, employee movers.
Okay.
Even if it's not flatbed moving that you hire.
Those are the key ingredients you want to look for.
Those are the key ingredients, and you should have a good move.
Love that. Okay. Let's talk about maybe some tips that, I'm a client. I know I've maybe hired you guys before you come in to move. What are some preparations or things that you guys like to see from the customer? What are some tips we can give the customer?
All right. Good one. Helpful tips to prepare for your move for the movers before they arrive. If you have pets, maybe get them to boarding or get them put away in a bathroom.
Okay.
And with the door closed and a sign on it that says, do not come in.
Cats in here, dogs in here, whatever. Just keep them.
Exactly.
You got the heavy dollies going in and out.
Yeah. Fluffy, my cat, is in the bathroom. So if you have pets,
right,
do something with them. They get
Sure.
scared.
right.
It's an unfamiliar situation for them, and we all love our pets, so take care of them. Preparation in terms of getting your key items together so they aren't lost or misplaced in the move.
Okay.
Car keys, wallet, checkbook, purse, eyeglasses,
Sure.
prescription medications,
Well, that's
anything
a good one.
important if you have kids and
Important documents.
they can't be without their iPad for an hour. So,
Keep all that stuff in its own little spot.
yeah, get it all together, get a travel bag together, get those important things to the side so the movers don't accidentally move them.
Okay.
Or pack them if you're having
them pack and move them. Okay.
Right.
Right.
So those are real helpful tips.
Okay.
Getting ready for a move.
Let's talk about like some crazy stories. Like maybe like, I don't know, give me an example of crazy stuff you move, just kind of off the wall. Anything come to mind?
I'll give you two.
Okay.
I'll give you a crazy story first.
Okay.
This one shocked me, but blew my mind when it happened. But when I was a mover, I show up to a client's house. Me and the crew show up about 8 a.m., knock on the door. She opens it. Hello, miss. I'm Carlos. This is my crew.
Yeah.
And she goes, okay. Right away, she's got this serious look. She's like, I need you guys to clear this place, except my husband's closet, by 4 p.m. I need you to pack it. I need you to get everything out of here.
We're on the clock.
We're on the clock.
Okay.
If you do it by 4 p.m., there's going to be a bonus in there for you. She
Okay.
was so serious. I said, okay, ma'am, give us the walkthrough. She showed us through. Big house.
It's a big house, yeah.
And I go, is there a reason why we have to be out by 4 p.m.? She goes, I'm clearing this house. I want my husband, soon to be ex-husband,
Of course.
to show up, quotation marks, from his golf trip to an empty house.
Okay.
I'm tired of him cheating on me.
Oh my gosh. His golf
Crazy.
trips.
His golf trip.
Okay.
So me and the crew did it, man. We packed it up. We got it out of there. She was happy. And it was just crazy walking out of that place and only seeing men's clothes hanging in the back closet.
Oh my gosh. That is kind of a nutty story. Kind of almost eerie a little bit.
Yeah, I almost felt like poor guy, but then
Right.
I said, like, well, he probably did something to deserve it. So
Sure.
that's a crazy story.
Okay. That's a good one.
There's plenty more, but I won't share them today.
Sure.
And then the craziest item I ever personally handled and moved were these hand-painted Russian icon paintings of like Catholic saints.
Okay.
And I believe, I may be off here, but they were maybe a couple 100 years old.
Holy smokes.
Really old.
Wow.
Really brittle. And they were valued at about $250,000.
Oh my gosh.
And there was a collection of them.
How did you, I mean, you obviously, is there like a special way to even handle these? And
so you got to put on the I forget what they're called, but they're special gloves.
Yeah.
That don't
No oil.
no oils, no chemicals.
Sure.
And then we got foam, and our warehouse guy custom built these foam holders for each piece.
Oh, wow.
And then we took that foam and put it into a custom crated box.
Okay.
And then shipped those boxes to New York.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
That is crazy.
Those are some interesting things that you come across.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for sharing. Those are cool stories. I've often thought this question. So you hired the movers, they're coming to do the move. You maybe have some expensive stuff, maybe not $250,000 worth of merchandise in one item, but people have nice stuff. They care about it. Big TVs, whatever. Insurance, right? That's a key thing. You guys obviously carry insurance. What would happen if something was to break or, get damaged? How does that process work from your guys' side?
Yeah. So every mover that's licensed in California, obviously has cargo insurance, general liability insurance, commercial auto, that sort of thing. So we're licensed and insured.
Okay.
And we have coverages to protect, if something happens, my guys have an accident or something's damaged. So there's a couple of different things here with that. The movers are liable. We are liable at a state regulation to only provide 60 cents per pound of the damaged item. Okay. This isn't much. No. Right? You have a big screen TV. It's $2,500 TV. It weighs 50 pounds.
Right. So
if we break it, you get $30.
Okay. That's not going to work.
It's not going to work at all.
Right.
That's at the free coverage.
Okay.
We're just required to provide that at a minimum.
Okay.
We have a second option. It's called a full replacement value coverage. So you purchase it. We're not selling insurance. We're not an insurance broker. We can't sell insurance, but we sell replacement coverage.
Okay.
So you give us a dollar amount, and then we give you up to 30,000, 50,000
okay.
worth of replacement coverage.
So I know what my stuff's worth, 50
Right.
grand, 30 grand, 100 grand.
Exactly.
And then you bind it for that amount.
Yeah. So you purchase it, you pay an extra fee to us.
Okay.
Something happens to that big screen TV,
right.
we buy you a new TV.
Okay.
So there's two options there. I normally go over those options with my potential clients.
Sure.
You know, most movers don't even bring up the coverage.
Oh, really? Oh, interesting.
Yeah, but I have high confidence in my guys.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the probability of something breaking or whatever is probably pretty low, but it feels good to know, you know, you have expensive stuff.
Yep.
At least
that comfort level.
Well, exactly. So there's obviously a whole spectrum of moving companies and services. There's the fly-by-night, two guys in a truck. They're super cheap. Found them on Craigslist, whatever, hourly. And then there's, the local professional like you guys. You got the big companies. Let's talk kind of like the categories of moving companies and, maybe the pros and cons of each a little bit.
Yeah. Let me cover on that. So you obviously have the big name companies,
sure,
which I've worked for a few of them in town.
Okay.
And those are your
semis.
Semi trucks,
Yep.
van line companies.
Yep.
Been in business 100+ years.
Right.
Some of them really great companies at their specific specialty.
Okay.
So they're really well known for military contracts.
Okay.
Or international shipping.
Sure.
That sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But when it comes to local moving, what I found in the past is most of those big name companies use contractors for their local moving, for their in-town moving. So normally they're overpriced or they're outrageously priced on in-town moving. Okay. They have to pay their contractor, they have to take a cut themselves.
Okay.
But when it comes to military contracts or international shipping, that's what they do best at. Okay. And then you're right. You have your really low priced movers.
Budget mover guy.
Yeah, budget movers.
They're renting a truck probably from whatever, Home Depot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Two guys, $90 an hour. They show up in a rental truck. They don't have all the proper protection materials.
Yeah.
They're physically able to move your items, but they're not safe, and there's no real service that comes with it.
Sure.
They get you point A, point B.
May break some stuff, may not.
Yeah, may break some stuff. Tough luck.
Yeah.
Too bad. We don't have insurance.
Sure.
We showed up to move your stuff.
They're just laborers, kind of. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then you got the local guys like us, right? So we do everything properly. We have all the proper coverages. We abide by the moving laws in California. We have employee movers. That way we can train them and have them perform the way we need them to.
Well, I was impressed. Like, I think it was maybe the second time you helped me move. So as a consumer watching how you guys come in, like wrap the door jamb, you wrap the railing of the stairs, like everything's like padded. It's almost like a safe house before you start, you rolled out some like material on the hallways. So you guys are walking back and forth. The floor is not getting trampled. I mean, not even just carpet, hardwood too, which can take a beating, and you like put that down. You guys really protect the environment before you even, start actually bringing stuff in and out.
Yep. And that's part of the key of having employees. You can tell them, hey, we need floors protected. We need banisters protected.
Yes.
And so, we have runners for any hard flooring. We have carpet shield for carpeted areas.
Right.
We blanket the banisters. We wrap the furniture, and we do it really quickly.
Right. Oh yeah. It's a quick little bang. And you're done.
Yeah. So
shut up.
The guys do it all the time. So it's second nature.
Right.
So we move quicker than some movers that don't even take the time to wrap furniture.
Right.
So,
and then you wrap everything too. Yeah. You come in, everything gets kind of like shrink wrapped, like very well protected. Exactly. And the speed you guys operated doing that is impressive for sure.
So those are kind of the a few different types of moving companies and differences between the types of moving companies.
The local pros like you guys, your price point probably going to be in the middle. I would assume you're not the cheapest, which, but you get what you pay for. And then the big, van lines, they're going to be pricey and probably not as good as you guys even. So
it's mid-range.
Yeah. Mid-range.
We're priced pretty fairly.
Yep.
And even with all the changes to the economy in our country, with the cost of supplies and fuel
prices,
and insurances and everything else, we still haven't raised our prices for quite a while. So we just believe in being fair, giving great service, having great outcomes, and truly helping people. Moving's really stressful, man.
It is.
I think it's labeled the third most stressful life event.
Yeah.
So it goes death, divorce, and moving.
Really?
Yep.
I mean, the handful of times I move, it's kind of a pain in the butt. It's like getting a prep for it. And it's nobody loves to move. It's like
it disrupts your daily life.
Disrupts everything.
Disrupts your schedule.
Put everything away, and then you got to go in and take it all back out.
Yeah.
It's
So on top of that overwhelming situation, imagine having some guys show up half drunk, or maybe under the influence of drugs.
Yep.
Or being rude and disrespectful, careless with your items. Some people can't handle all that at once.
Well, that's a great segue. Like talking about like etiquette, right? There's etiquette for the homeowner that's having their stuff moved, like what they maybe could do to make the experience better for the movers. And then you also got the movers and what etiquette you were talking about, manners, like what etiquette is that maybe you instill in your guys that are coming in to move someone. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So, being prepared for your movers is something you can do as a client to a moving company, which I've seen lots for my guys happen, is having a designated restroom for the guys.
Yeah.
They are working for you. They're going to be there, 4 hours, 8 hours.
Yeah.
They're human. They're going to have to use the restroom.
So kind of just point that, hey, use this powder bath at the end of the hall, whatever. Just kind of let them know.
Exactly. It's really nice when you walk into a client's home and they say, hey guys, I got this restroom ready for you down here. It's the downstairs hall bathroom.
Sure.
That's for you guys. No need to ask each time you go in. Just go ahead and use it. I got a cooler of waters for you in the garage.
Yeah, they're working hard. They're sweating. They're,
Yeah. In the back fridge.
Yeah.
Let me know if you need anything. That's really, really nice and kind when you do that to your moving crew.
Sure.
And then they want to do better for you because they feel the appreciation and the recognition.
Well, it is a service industry, right? I mean, they're working hard. I always know, like, I believe in tipping people. I tip well when it's that you feel that like, wow, these guys went above and beyond. You want to appreciate that and show them, like when you go out to dinner and you have a nice meal and the service was impeccable, like, give a little extra or whatever. I never know with movers. And I think a lot of people question, like, what is, it's like a hairstylist. Well, how much are you going to tip them, or a waiter? It's 20%. Like, what's kind of like, is there a rule of thumb, or is it kind of, I mean, I know everyone has, some people are cheaper than others, but can you give like kind of a gauge on what would be good tips?
Yeah, there is a good gauge. So tipping in the moving industry is customary.
Okay.
The service industry, guys are working hard, especially my guys, right? They're not taking their time to earn more on the hour,
right?
Because they know the job's flat rated,
right?
So they're working hard and they're doing their best to get your job done. So tipping is super appreciated. It's customary. On range, I've seen the lowest tip, $20 a person on the crew.
Okay.
And I've personally been tipped up to $300 a person.
Wow.
On a crew.
Okay.
I don't expect that.
Bigger job, I would assume, for $300 a head, because it was a crew anywhere from three guys up to like 4 or 5.
There was 4 of us.
4 of you
on that tip. But $20 to $80 a person is pretty average.
Okay.
For a tip.
Okay.
And and then mover etiquette. It's real important that
to earn the tip, right?
Yeah, and it's real important for us how our movers perform. So they're in uniform. They all have on the same t-shirts.
Okay.
Hygiene's important.
Yep.
Clean, shower, wear deodorant,
right.
Brush your teeth.
Sure, basic stuff, but
basic adult, basic adult hygiene practice.
Right.
But you'd be surprised in the moving industry. There's some questionable characters out there.
Of course.
So hygiene, uniform, and then our guys are really polite. They always say please and thank you. They ask you, is there anything else they can do?
Yep.
They do a walkthrough with you. Sir, ma'am, can you walk through the house, make sure we got everything for you? You might ask them, oh, I forgot about this piece. Can you help me with it? Yep. Sure, no problem. Where is it? There's no fuss. There's no pushback. There's no, sighs or making facial expressions like, oh, this person. Yeah. Not like that. So mover etiquette is key to client experience.
Absolutely. Well, it goes a long way too. At the end, when they get to the end, you were impressed by everyone's etiquette and how they treated you.
Right.
That's you want to take care of them.
Absolutely.
So that's killer. You touch on this. So you have all employees. You hire your employees. No contractors. Like those are. Correct. There's 2 subsets there. Certain moving companies, I'm sure, would probably outsource and use as day laborers or what have you. The benefits. Pretty obvious to me, but the benefits of having employees, let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So like I said before, having employees, you're able to train a team. Another key point of having employees is they begin to build relationships themselves.
Sure.
Within the crews, with the crew members. So they become friends.
Right.
They build bonds. They build
Right.
relationships.
Yep.
So it's almost like working with your buddies.
Yeah, it's your brotherhood or whatever.
Yeah, it's a brotherhood. So these guys work together all the time. They tease each other. They have fun on the job.
Right.
They create, a team atmosphere they know who wraps furniture best on that team.
Right.
So that's the guy inside.
Your rapper guy. Yeah.
They know, Tico or Ramiro. These two guys, they know how to load a truck really well.
Oh, dude, I've seen it's like Tetris, man.
Yeah, so they're gonna puzzle the truck.
They puzzle it all in there, and it's like.
Yep. And then they just know who's really strong.
Yeah.
Oh, grab Jesus, man. This armoire is heavy.
Yeah.
Jesus comes.
Get the muscle.
Man, this guy's strong.
Yeah.
He's an ox. So you got all the team members that know each other, get along with each other, and have their really specific skill sets.
Okay.
So it just works really well when you have employees.
Yeah.
Not to say that there aren't good contractors out there. There are. I've seen some great contractor movers, but most of the time contractors are just, plucked for that specific job.
Sure.
So you might have 3 guys show up to a 3-man move that have only met that morning.
Right.
So how does that flow work?
A little more clunky.
A little more clunky, and everyone's just kind of doing their own thing. The job ends up going longer.
Sure.
Or the personality types may not match.
2 alpha dogs. When we just telling one guy to do, the other guy's trying to tell him back and forth.
I've seen contractors fist fight on jobs.
Oh my gosh.
So it's a little scary.
Yeah. No. Okay. Social media. I see a lot of your stuff online. You do a fabulous job of promoting your company. I enjoy like all the little reels you put out and things like that. Let's talk about how small business owners like yourself are able to leverage social to either grow your market share, grow your brand. Yep. You do a really good job with that. Tips on that or things that you find that you do.
Yeah, and I'll start by saying that I wasn't a fan of social media before starting this company. I didn't. So up until 4 years ago, I didn't have a Facebook.
Okay.
I didn't have an Instagram.
Okay.
I didn't have a LinkedIn.
Okay.
And I just didn't partake in social media.
Hey,
it was just, my personality.
Yeah.
Having a good marketing person on your team is key as well. When you're a small business owner, they're a professional in their field.
Right.
So, smart people can figure out some of this stuff, but having a professional in that field is key.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah. So, having a website, SEO, and, that type of person be on your team is key. Mm-hmm. So my marketing guy actually told me, and you got to create social media pages, and then we're going to link the business pages.
Okay.
And this helps in the sense of you're a real company to the online world.
Right.
So if you type in flatbed moving, and then you see a post on Instagram or Facebook post or a LinkedIn, the website pops up. So you begin, noticeable.
Well, that's where people hang out. Like if hey, you got a recommendation? Yeah, call this guy Carlos Flatbed. Yep. I'm going to go Google you if I don't know you, and then I'm going to start seeing all this stuff, and then they're going to be impressed, be like, wow, these guys are first class. I see the other jobs they've done. They're talking about their employees. You brag on your employees, which I think is cool. When they do a good job, you're showcasing them. So it helps tell your narrative and your story to someone who has no clue who you are.
Yeah, that's a great point. So I've been referred tons of times, and before they contacted me, they actually researched.
I think most people
do, right?
They want to read reviews, look people up. It's the gospel of Google, but just type in Google and
gospel of Google.
I'm going to look you up before I call you.
Yeah. So it's great to have those social media pages that are active with recent posts and recent stories.
Sure.
Because it's just a little background into who your company is and who your guys are.
Yeah.
And so I strongly stand by social media.
Well, you do a great job with it. We kind of wrap up here. Lenders, real estate agents. Obviously, that's I'm a lender. I refer you. All the buyers I work with, I want them to reach out to you and get a quote. Real estate agents in the community. Obviously, you work with them.
Yes.
For networking purposes, let's talk a little about how you network outside of social media within the lending, real estate, other industries you work with. What avenues do you work on to try and build your network that way?
Yeah, so I'm part of a pretty strong networking group called BNI.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. So
awesome.
Our chapter's out of Carmel Mountain.
Okay.
So it's great to have a team of professionals
that
that you have real relationships with, that can refer to you, but also you can get help from when you need as a small business owner.
Right.
We all go through things and we need some help, and it's great to have that strong network. So I do that.
Okay.
I know people like you that we've built relationships.
Right.
First transaction was you were a moving client, but then we got to know each other and stayed friends and talk and chat.
Yep.
Know about each other's families. So,
yep.
So that type of thing is great. We're the preferred vendor for a few different real estate offices in town.
Okay.
And so being part of a vendor program, or a real estate, office team, being their go-to mover, that's crucial to growing your business
for sure.
And we like to work with a lot of property managers and that sort of thing. We're also the preferred vendor on multiple buildings downtown.
Oh wow!
Where we're on the movers list.
Okay.
So anyone moving in or out gets that list.
See you and they're like, I'll call this guy.
Yeah. So that with the social media and the online marketing, you got to have multiple avenues of getting your brand out there.
Totally.
And multiple avenues of leads coming in.
Absolutely.
So that's what we've done really well at so far.
Yeah, you guys do network well, and it's huge. For those that are listening, being able to identify who your audience is, whether from a networking perspective, and who your audience is, and you've done a good job of leveraging that and building it. So that's awesome.
And I want to throw one more thing out there.
Yeah.
About networking and building business relationships. That's going to seem odd to most movers in town, except for the ones that I'm talking about.
Okay.
So I don't throw names out there, but we actually collaborate with other moving companies.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I talk to other lenders, other companies, we share best practices.
Yep. We actually work with other moving companies.
Okay.
If we're extremely busy, there's a couple other movers in town we know that are great.
Yeah.
Equal type of service.
Sure.
Well, so we'll refer to them. Or there's a job that they can't handle because it's not within their skill set.
Yep.
They'll call us. So working with other, companies within your field, I believe is one of the best business practices you can do.
It's huge. Even in my space, like, all the different states that I'm licensed in, I get loan officers that'll call me and say, hey, I can't do help a client that's in Texas and I'm licensed there. So they'll refer me a client and I'll help them, buy a new home in Texas or where, so it's that cross connect and helping one another that way is cool.
Yeah.
One thing we didn't touch on, I think it's become very popular is the storage pods and the utilization of, there's different types of ways to move. I see those a lot where those be parked in a driveway. Let's talk about the different storage options, whether it's the pod mover or you guys drive to a storage unit. Let's go through that for a minute.
Let's do it. So storage became really popular when the housing market boosted.
Okay.
The COVID year in 2021.
Yep.
So I think that 24 months of just houses going crazy on the market, right? So, multiple offers, house sold within hours or within the weekend. So folks were selling their home, making good money on it, but then they had nowhere to go. So the storage industry blew up.
Okay.
So we had to kind of adjust for that. So we were like, okay, without a warehouse at the time, how do we do storage? So we partnered, like I said, we partner up with other companies.
Okay.
We partnered up with a portable storage company in town.
Okay.
And I will shout them out because they're amazing. Their name's MyBox.
MyBox. Okay.
MyBox.
MyBox.
Yep. Great guys.
Cool.
So we partnered with them. They rent out portable storage containers. They drop them at the client's home. The clients need professional movers to load them.
Sure.
They store them away. Then when they get in the new place, we unload them.
Okay.
So we work with them.
Nice.
We also can pick up the client's items, load them in our truck, and deliver them to a self-storage unit that the client will rent. So if you go get a place at Public Storage, 10 by 20 or whatever you need.
I need some gear dropped off.
Yeah, we'll come protect your items, load up the truck, take
usually bigger items, not like my golf bags, but something that's clunky or big.
Some folks do their whole home, everything.
Oh, really?
And we'll move into a furnished rental until they find a new home.
Okay, so you're packing, you're dropping it, unload. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
And now that we have a location, we store items at our own location.
You have your own warehouse. That's killer.
So that's how we attack storage. But there's different options. Like the container option is good for if I'm working with a real estate agent and he's saying, hey, I want to get listing pictures.
Right.
But I got to get my client's home decluttered.
Right.
So I'll get a container there. We'll pack up 10 to 15 boxes.
Okay.
Take out a few pieces of furniture.
Sure.
The realtor will do listing pictures, sell the home, and then we'll move the home and redeliver the storage items.
Okay. Got it.
So there's folks that want to remodel the downstairs only.
Right.
But not the upstairs bedrooms.
Right.
We'll clear out items for storage.
Okay.
They'll remodel a month later, bring them back.
Okay.
So it doesn't mean you have to be moving for storage. We
Lots of different varieties of why you would do that.
Yeah. And even, after storage, it brings up the topic of like other services.
Mm-hmm.
If I could jump into that.
Yeah, sure.
So we do dump runs.
Okay.
So recently, during this whole COVID thing, I keep bringing it up, but it's caused a lot of changes in the industry.
Sure.
So COVID made it really hard to donate to donation places.
Yep.
Like
I remember that.
Father Joe's,
yeah.
Goodwill. There was a point where they couldn't accept anything else.
I remember that. I was trying to donate. It was a nightmare.
Man, or they didn't want to accept items because of, health reasons.
Right.
So everyone just started saying, I got to get this stuff out of here.
Yep.
We'll go dump it.
Okay.
We created a contract with Miramar Landfill.
Okay.
So we load up, we go do dump runs.
Okay.
So we do dump, we do clear the clutter, we do storage, we do packing, moving, unpacking.
Do it all.
Custom crating. So that's very specific. Folks will have really nice art, irreplaceable sculptures.
Yeah.
Grandfather clocks, baby grand pianos.
Wow.
Some of these things got to be custom crated to properly move.
Sure.
And not have any damage happen to them.
Yeah.
So we do custom crating. We have a guy that can disassemble and assemble home gyms.
Oh, wow.
Massage chairs.
Okay.
Because
that stuff's intricate. Like I have a big rack in my gym, like the cage and all the bolts and all that. It would take me 8 hours to figure out how to take it apart.
Absolutely. It'd take my guys 8 hours.
Yeah.
So we like to think that we know when to say no.
Right.
So if I know we can't do a great job at it, I have another professional that can do that great job for our clients. So we work with a lot of other people to make the moving experience as spectacular as possible. You
guys do a great job. I'm stoked to have had you come hang out with me and kind of educate us on the moving world and all the different pieces of it. I'm going to keep sending you people and just keep doing what you do. You guys do a great job.
Love you, brother.
Likewise.
Appreciate
all right,
you,
brother.
man.
We'll talk to you later.